motion that we take 100,000 of that COVID relief money and use 50,000 for playground equipment / upgrades to Trufant Park and 50,000 for the Coral Park.
I think that the parks in the towns actually do need to be upgraded, and I would like to see the children of the area being able to play on stuff that's better than what they have. I mean, I played on that stuff when I was a kid at Truman Elementary, so if you're gonna date.
I mean, he means the exact same stuff,
Yeah, oh yeah,
right?
it was, the seventies when
Not
that stuff was
similar,
at,
the same.
Truman Elementary.
Yeah.
I think that there's enough money to actually upgrade the building and the structures and do the things that we wanna do that are, that can generate revenue. I mean, this building is one of them. And we've got our sights on this, specifically, but I also think, you know, that money coming from the commissioners would be put to good use. I thought that the parks and upgrading of the parks was a great idea.
I don't think it all should go towards playground equipment. We need a new roof on the pavilion over there. There's some electrical work that needs to be done at Peterson Park. You know, I mean, because that's a safety concern. I mean, the one pole is literally at an angle. I mean,
There's a lot of work to do. that
and I
needs
think
to
we
be-
need to, really determine what of those things we need to also work with, along with upgrading some of the equipment. And some of the equipment I'd like to look at is, there's, another program that you can look at that is ecologically friendly. Playground equipment is more of discovery type equipment. It is more of being outdoorsy stuff. It's not all hardened plastic resin. I don't have that information in front of me because we just stumbled upon it this weekend. We were watching something and Dan wrote it down, so I plan to bring that to the next meeting. Yeah, and that's part of what Dan wrote down was, it was on there about, and it's a Michigan company, I believe, that does it.
So the motion was to put $100,000 towards the parks. So we could do that.
Did the motion
And
get
then
a second?
And then sort out how it goes into it.
Did you second?
We have $291,452, is that correct? Okay, that leaves
So-
$191,452 left over.
So what I would, the other thing that kind of, I think is important is that we do similar upgrades. I mean, obviously, right, if it's an infrastructure thing, that is, you know, specific to that park, right? But I would like to see, you know, similar equipment upgrades at each park. You know, so I don't want there to be any, like, you know, indiscrepancies. Coral got this, Trufant got this, you know, everybody gets a unicorn, everybody gets a pony, right? Everybody gets 3 swings, or whatever, that is.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Tim says, yeah.
Do we wanna look into the, cost of the equipment any further? I mean, is that what you're kinda saying?
Yes, that's what
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
I just wanna earmark the money, just so we can say, oh, no, we can't spend that, cause this is gonna be for,
You just wanna set it aside and do
just set
it.
aside. Yeah, oh, I'm in no hurry, right? I mean, we're in the winter season, but, you know,
So does the Sparks program, is that a matching funds grant?
no, I don't believe so.
So that is a strictly, we've
That
asked for this
expires on
amount.
Monday.
Right, we have to apply for it, yeah.
And what are all the, because I know that there's a lot of hoops and things that you have to go through, like a recreation plan, they have to be set up and everything.
Right,
To-
so,
to put in all of that.
I just know that it's available and out there, and I reported it to you a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And then.
and I've been looking
I don't
into
know
it,
what happened.
into it with Melissa, just
Okay.
to get some information on it. We have to, you know, basically you just say, I want it, and then you worry about the logistics of it later, you know, but you just get yourself kinda on the list. But if we don't qualify for the Sparks, we don't, we're gonna try, but,
Who's taking care of that?
so I was looking into it, yep, and Melissa Osteron, who was the one who presented the packet last month, on that, for all the playground equipment, yeah, it's pricey, I mean, it's pricey.
That's why I'd like to look at the other stuff that we were talking about, that
Yeah.
is more of a discovery, more of a natural base stuff stuff that isn't the hard resin, I think that's something that needs to be more looked into.
Well, let's do it.
And I think that would be a great upgrade for the parks.
Let's earmark some money to make sure that we take care of that part of this, and let's look around and see what's there.
So you make a motion?
She made a motion.
You second the
So who
motion?
I
seconded?
second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second, I'm sorry. All in favor say aye. Opposed likewise? Motion carried. $100,000 earmarked for the parks.
But not necessarily for equipment, just for the parks, correct?
For the,
electrical
to the
upgrades
parks.
and-
Yeah.
Right.
For True Front Park and Coral,
Lots of things.
Coral Park, Peterson Park and.
So thanks for your report there,
Alright, so
Pat.
that will be.
Go ahead, Steve.
I've been taking care of this park for the last 3 years. I volunteered. I bought new swings, a little baby swing. I put new basketball hoops up, and I had the kids up there helping me do everything while I did it so they could learn. The kids, after about 6 months, started destroying stuff, so I took the basketball hoops down and I said, we're done. I still go up there in the summer every every Sunday at noon, have kids come up there and had their parents come with me. This year I didn't do it as much because the parents didn't want to help. And they, we painted the slides and everything, we did the teeter-totters and everything for them. But I did take the basketball hoops down and I refused to replace them because the kids destroyed them. And then I did go to the parents and that didn't go so well. So that's all I could do.
Thanks, Steve.
So I hope they don't put a whole lot of money into it.
Yeah, that's my biggest
They
concern.
just destroyed it.
They just-
Sinking that money into it and then having it destroyed in 2 weeks.
Right.
In either park.
Great. Yeah.
I mean,
They
Sorry.
make metal basketball nets, metal rings
Yeah.
attached to metal backboards.
That's what I've got, and they ripped them down.
So, I mean, they do it in the inner city. There's chain nets and everything. If they make them last in the inner city, they can make them last in Coral.
You don't know those kind of things. Broken the church, broken the post office. Yeah, they're great kids.
Raj, you got a report from the planning commission?
Thank you. We got through our 8 through 10, our final draft. We, made it in Peterson, our secretary, until we lost Andy. We went through, we're gonna start on Articles 11 through 15, and, that's what we've got going so far. I do know that I gotta get a couple of the ordinances off from the website, that's up and going and everything, where I get them off now. There's some that are missing out of our books, so, and, I was also wondering if we could get the board to appoint a few different, people to our planning commission now that we've got a new board. We have had, I talked to Jeremy Olson last month after this meeting, and, he said that he would also like to get on, and then, Penny Bassett and Rob Paulson both, inquired about getting on, so if we could have the board maybe appoint some new members for our planning commission, we need 2 more at least.
no, we don't, so I think we can at the next month, then we'll advertise as well, so that way everybody knows that there's positions available, and then we can bring it at the January meeting.
I guess the only other thing is if we go to start doing a blight ordinance, we've gotta have some way of getting the ID for the people, for Dave, so that if he writes a citation, that he's gonna have an, ability to get their, like, driver's license number or something like that. So I don't know if Andy has anything on file, with people's addresses, that we can get a driver's license number, if he's gotta write a citation on somebody.
As a treasurer, I don't have that sort of information.
And I don't either. But I know that there's several other zoning administrators that write them, but they don't get driver's license because it goes by the parcel number of what they're writing the citation on. So if there's an issue with my property, it goes to And he calls Mary Ann and says, hey, I got this address and like this, and you can give him the name of the person, because that's where it goes to, is whoever owns the property. It doesn't matter who lives there. It's the property owner who is responsible for that, so that's,
I think it was something about citation, or they had to have some sort of ID for that person.
For the court,
For
so
the
they
court.
wanna set up their ticket.
I'll have to ask a couple of, does Nelson, does he have access to?
It goes to the property owner.
Goes to the property owner, and that's what he sends to?
Yep.
For citations?
Yeah, because they're responsible, it's their property. Doesn't matter who lives there.
I think they were talking about if it ended up going to court after someone.
You'd write a ticket.
Right.
An appearance ticket in court, you file it with the court. that's
It
okay.
still goes to the property owner.
Yeah, but you can't, the court don't accept it unless you have.
Kent County does.
County, no,
Kent County does. We
oh,
do it all the time.
not Montcalm County.
Montcalm County does do it, we got the problem right now in Reynolds Township.
Okay, so David, how have you guys been addressing it?
Well, we've had our zoning administrator get a hold of the property owner, let them know the situation, and waiting for the property owner to get a hold of whoever's renting the property, or them take care of it upon themselves. And they're working with the zoning administrator, give them a 30-day grace period, or 60-day, whatever they ask for. And if they don't meet that, then we go back through and go about it, and then we get the, whatever fee it may be, $100 or $250, and that just gets assessed onto the tax bill, unless they come in and pay for it. We just had one come into our hall, 2 weeks ago, come in and paid their bill, got a copy of it, and that was taken care of.
So you don't take it to court, you don't write a ticket?
Not yet.
Cop does.
The police officer does,
The police will do it?
the police will do it.
Wow, that'd be nice.
Now, do you do that,
It's all Montcalm County right there.
yep, do you assess that fee on your ordinance when you wrote that thing?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've got another one. Thank you.
We got a report from the zoning administrator.
For two permits for the month of November, one was at 15731 Stanton Road, there's a lean-to on an accessory building. Then at 4383 Bailey Road, there was a storage building. That one, just a gentleman, it didn't get lost, it got returned to me, so I ended up mailing it back to him. And I called him a few times, and by the time he got back to me, he said he did get it. And I did leave that envelope that the mail company gave me back, so we knew that it wasn't, it somehow got lost, I don't know why. But other than that, that's it. I'd like to speak to him, or should I wait till public comments after we're done about the court?
With me? I'll be here.
Okay.
Talk to him privately after. We have a report from our new assessor, Amanda Toomey.
Hi, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'll be your new assessor. My name's Amanda. I've been working in assessing for about 6 years. I come from a family of assessors, so if I have any questions that I can answer it away, I can figure it out for you. I'm here for the public, so I'm here to serve you. I'll be available by phone, email, or appointment if necessary. Thank you. I still have a little bit more. I just wanted to make the board aware. I was going through a stack of unopened mail. I did find 3 principal residence exemptions that didn't get applied back in 2017. But what I can do is go back current in 3 years. So I just need to get a hold of those individuals to make sure that they are indeed still living there. And I can go back and give them a refund for what they should have been taxed at.
Do you need anything from us?
No.
To assist with that, so that's something.
Yeah, I can do that, everything myself. for that.
Thank you for looking into that and taking care of it. I'm sure the homeowners will be ecstatic, saying that they're getting money back.
Yeah.
Kathy Gunderman, report from the community center? I don't think she's here.
She's here.
Okay.
We
We have,
had one rental in November and we just had one last weekend and then this weekend, both days it's rented. I do know that.
Have you heard anyone from that church or that group that wanted to rent it?
So he does still want to rent it and he wants to rent it every Sunday from starting January through March. And that's what she was asking is how did she, cause he's a non-resident, and she wanted to know if she could take like one deposit for the entire time. Because how we have it set up right now is it's a deposit for each day that you are going to rent it. So she wanted to know if she could take one deposit to hold for,
so she wants
all
to
the
reserve it for 4 weeks and then only one deposit.
that is correct, or well, it'd be 12 weeks.
What's the rate?
It's $100 deposit, so that's why she wanted to know is, because right now we have it set up, so it would be $100, it'd be $400 deposit for January, 400 for February,
Or what's the rate we're charging them per Sunday?
$200 is what she had said, is, if it was a resident, that it'd be. And if he's not a non-resident, it's $400 for each Sunday.
So is he non-resident or resident?
One time I talked to her, she said he was a resident, and then the next time she's like, no, he's non-resident. So I'm like,
You don't know his address or his name or?
she did not give me that information when I asked.
Good thing if she.
Yeah. So,
Well, except that this is December and she wants it in, he wants.
he wants to start it in January. And, yeah, so I'm assuming the 8th would be the first date that he would like to do that. So that's what she's wanting to know is what to charge, or if she should charge for that, or if we wanna do one single deposit for,
I mean, I would say
entire
one
time.
single deposit would be fine. If there was an issue, we would take the deposit and request another,
another deposit
right,
for,
I don't foresee that being a big.
That's for damages, maybe, whatever.
yeah, they don't clean, and we have cleaning products now, so, and things to clean with.
Why don't we set it up so we do, the one deposit for the first month? And then see
But
how
how
it
do you
goes
know,
from there.
would you rather to make it for a non or for a resident or?
The deposits are the same,
Oh, okay.
it's just the daily rental is different charge.
What do you think about that?
I think we make the deposit equal to a full amount of a residence fee, so $200.
Okay.
And then, we will, look to, the representative to make sure that they're doing their job, cleaning up, and that we don't have to deal with that. And then they can go about their business, holding service or whatever they want to do.
$200 for the full 12 weeks then?
Well, $200 just to cover it, and then we keep an eye on it, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then just like audit the cleaning supplies, if they use them all up, obviously, we want them to replenish what they take.
Yeah.
She's doing a good job.
Okay. Yeah, so Susan and I are taking over cleaning for right now until we get any bids.
It'll just be in the minutes, we'll go with that.
Got that down.
Good. Good to have you run it. Okay. We got your, huh? We need to appoint him?
Well, I do have a report from the fire chief. He said they had 6 November runs. 1 vehicle fire, 1 structure fire, 1 CO alarm, 1 fire alarm, and 2 down power lines. And he also talked to me about, the trucks that they're working on, but they're having a hard time getting parts right now because I guess the fire department did purchase some trucks.
Okay.
And, they're still in process, so, and that's very accurate. I do know a man that builds fire trucks and they can't get parts, so what do?
You
We're at
wait.
the mercy of the supply chain right now when it comes to that, so. And that's it, that's the report for November.
I'm going to make a motion to appoint Tim as the fire board representative for us slash.
And Mike Larson.
And Mike Larson.
Wants to stay on board, so I did speak with him, and it'll just be Mike and I setting the,
Mike's still on?
yes,
Yeah,
I thought we could be supervisor.
Mike Larson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I spoke with him on the phone this week, so.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
Yep. Or,
okay, perfect.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Good, thanks. Good. Reading of the bills for,
On the back of your agenda. So, there's two checks that are different numbers, because that's the ARPA funds. And then the rest of them are in order with everything we did. The fire, or the road commission did get us the rest of the, that's what the big ones are for the road commission, are the 67,000 and the 14,000, almost 15,000, were the rest of our contracts that we had that we didn't, had never gotten sent to us to be paid. So,
okay,
those are the ones he was speaking to me last week about at that meeting.
at the meeting. okay.
Yep. So those, got those to me. And then when I go Wednesday to see the road commission, I will take them their other half of their payment, or their invoice for the Coral Fire Barn.
So they,
They
you
still
got that
owe,
present result. with
yes,
him.
but they still owe for half of the year, because they were only invoiced for half of the year, so. That is it. And the cleaning supplies from KSS only came to $171, where I wasn't sure how much, you said 250, so it was only 170. That should get us at least a good year and a half of cleaning supplies.
Do you, how far did you get with your, grant for the equipment for the?
That's going in this week, so then, cause that's due December 31st. The election equipment, there's a grant. I just have to send all the receipts in with it, and we get we'll be reimbursed $1,500, so that'll go back into the election fund.
And question on the, Microsoft Word, McAfee,
Antiviral,
is that, can it be put on multiple PCs?
yes,
Okay, get with you on that.
yep, it's. And the McAfee I got for, it was a 2-year for the antivirus. So now just need a motion for paying the bills.
I make a motion that we pay these bills, or I, would entertain a motion that we pay these bills.
so moved.
Second.
Second, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Old business. We're gonna do some work, so we have, 2 bids for the electrical work.
Yep, that's what we have so far. Just wanted to present them to you guys and didn't know,
Do you know of anybody else that is gonna be bidding on that?
not to my knowledge.
When is the last day of district sale?
That is not, I didn't put that out there yet, so, cause we just did that.
We have the, Brooks.
Amble Electric and Brooks.
So, I just wanted you guys to be aware of that, if we wanted to, so you guys could look them over, and I wanted to ask when, because we didn't establish that at our last meeting, when we wanted the last day to accept bids for this was, so I can make sure that I have that out there.
Before the next board meeting.
This will be good.
That way we can actually get this wrapped up and keep moving.
Okay, perfect.
So I see on Brooks, it says missing the kitchen stove, exhaust fan, extra outlets in the kitchen. Is that because that's like beyond their scope of work, or it just wasn't quoted?
It wasn't quoted on here, and I have a call into them,
Okay, so they can have.
asking them, because that was one of, because they did a walkthrough, and I didn't see it on there. So I just don't know if they just didn't send me all of the, because it was mailed to me, and it wasn't emailed, so that's my note. I wanted you guys to know that, yes, I was aware that it wasn't the same as theirs. I wanted to get all the information first before we looked at that.
How did we advertise this? Just at the board meeting, did we post it in the paper?
We haven't posted in the paper
Okay.
yet. That's why I was asking when we wanted it, so it could be specific in the paper.
Okay, so you're gonna post it in the
Yes.
paper. Okay.
And it will be posted on our website now that I have access to that as well.
We're good with that?
Yep.
Okay, office furniture, we pretty much already
Yep,
took
we
care
already
of
took care of
that,
that,
so,
so that's done.
website improving,
Yep, they're the current ones, they asked if we wanted to do any updates. I will ask for a separate, a different, I guess, proposal from them.
okay.
Because the one that they had was, one for making basically a whole new website, so I'm gonna ask them to, give us something different, since
Because
the
the one
ones.
we have is working.
It's working fine, but it needs some updating, it needs some page changes and
Okay.
things of that nature, so we can make it a little more user-friendly. And adding some forms, Amanda's gonna get us forms to put on for assessing, so that everybody has access to everything. And that's gonna be,
Is there a maintenance fee on that?
yes, there is, and that's, one thing that they are getting me information on,
Okay.
so. I just wanted to let you guys know what,
Just
where
have
we were at.
something on that. Part of the new assessing reform is that all of our, basically we have to have, if we have high-speed internet, we have to put all of our, sales studies online for
Okay.
public to view. So it would be important to have a good website.
Okay, and I will get with you about that as well.
And who's gonna be like authorized to make changes on the website? Are we designating somebody to be the website person?
Well, so far that's been me.
You are comfortable with that?
I'm really-
I am. Very comfortable with that.
Yeah,
She's volunteered.
I don't really care, I mean, there was something to be done, and it needed to be done, so I just did it.
Yeah, thank you. She was never in the army, was she? Neither was I, but I've heard about that. Okay. Thank you for your work on that, by the way.
You're welcome.
We need to authorize communication with Casco.
So what we just need to do is, I guess I'll make the motion. I make the motion to authorize, Leslie Abdu from Foster and Swift, our attorney, to contact, former board members to get any missing documents, keys, anything that we still haven't been turned in since they have vacated office. Or access or, copies of communications via email, because those are township records that we are still missing. So we just need to authorize them so that, so that they can contact the board members on our behalf and send a demand letter for those communications and the records that we need to keep for the township.
Is that a motion?
That's my motion.
You have a second? Or we have, discussion on that? Have we already tried to contact?
Yes. Yes, communications have already been sent out and there was no return communication.
Okay, so we have a motion support. We wanna do all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carried.
And I will get with her tomorrow and let her know that.
Now we have credit card policy, do you have a sample of that or anything?
Yes, I,
Did you use it?
yep, I did. It was just something in the policies and procedures book that we have, and it was just kind of to go over like the limits, which we already have a limit on the card,
Okay,
but I didn't know if you guys wanted to look it over, make any changes to this, and perhaps bring it back in,
okay,
it looks like this.
so we're gonna do that, we'll do that, oh, there it is, right there, okay.
Yep.
You wanna table that till next
Yep,
week?
I
then?
just wanted,
Okay,
you guys to see it so that you can look it over and discuss it.
Who's getting a card? Me, Andy, and Dan?
Yes, that's correct.
so we'll just let that set till next week.
Yep.
You have a policy using more than mine.
This one, that one right there, and
You have it on mine.
no, that's why I wanted you guys to look it over, so that you guys could come back and we could discuss it. But I wanted you guys to have it ahead of time, so you could look at it and discuss it in January.
So you haven't turned in the application?
Yes, they have been turned in. The cards will be coming in next week.
They're not usable till January probably.
Well, they'll be usable, we just don't, yes, I have
Yeah.
this in policy, but that's it.
But like,
Is
so,
Do we already have this policy, or is this
No,
one
we
that
do
you,
not have it.
that you found?
I found this was in the policy procedures book,
Oh,
and we
okay.
have, in the red book as well. The reason is because we've never had credit cards before, so we've never had anything. So, that was one suggestion that the lawyer said.
but we can still, like, let's say Leonard needs to get gas for the truck,
That's
he can
correct.
still be reimbursed, I mean, he doesn't
Yes.
have to use the card, like,
Yeah.
we don't have to have a card accessible to him, you know, for everything, you know,
No,
or if.
I mean, if I told him, I said, if I'm here at the office and he needs it and I'm there, then it's great, I'll run over and get gas for him, but, you know,
I mean, it sounds pretty standard, right?
and that's why I wanted,
Don't buy
but
stuff that's not the township's,
Yeah.
pay it off,
pretty much,
be responsible, try not to lose it,
yeah.
apparently no snacks.
Okay. Let's move on to new business then. We have, are we ready to appoint these, board review? Okay, we have, where is that? I saw that here.
This piece of paper right here.
Yeah, I know, I see it, I just gotta find it again. Well,
Do these, maybe 5 folks wanna stand up and introduce themselves?
not